Liverpool, Team of the Decade. It was the legendary Bill Shankly who said in 1973, as he held the coveted First Division League Championship trophy, "This is our bread and butter. That's what we want to win all the time." Liverpool may not have achieved Shankly's impossible dream of winning the First Division title all the time, but with a total of 18 championships, they're way ahead of their nearest rivals, who've managed only half that number. Shankly himself led Liverpool to 3 championships, and set the standards for his successors, Bob Paisley, Joe Fagan and Kenny Dalglish, who between them brought home the bread and butter an incredible 7 times in the past decade. But it hasn't been a diet of just bread and butter. Liverpool have also consistently tasted the fruits of European Cup, FA Cup, League Cup and Charity Shield success between 1980 and 1990. In addition to their 7 league championships, including a magnificent hat-trick of titles, there have been 2 FA Cup victories, 1 in a memorable League and Cup double season, 4 successive League Cup wins, 2 superb European Cup successes, 5 Charity Shield victories, and a season when Liverpool became the first club to win 3 major trophies. Under the leadership of 3 different managers, and with the regular and carefully planned introduction of new players, Liverpool during the past decade achieved and maintained a level of success never before seen in the history of English football. In the 11 seasons between 1979-80 and 1989-90, the Reds played a total of 452 First Division games. They won 256, drew 121 and lost only 75. They scored a total of 852 goals, with 380 against. The 80s began in familiar fashion. Victory in the League Championship with a team that included both Kenny Dalglish and Alan Hansen, who, a decade later, took the field at Anfield as members of yet another championship-winning side. 1980 was the year when a young striker named Ian Rush made his debut, playing 7 end-of-season games without scoring a goal. It was also the year when midfield star Terry McDermott was voted both Footballer of the Year and PFA Player of the Year, while Bob Paisley won his 4th Manager of the Year award. The Charity Shield was also retained with victory over West Ham. If the League Championship eluded Liverpool in 1981, when they finished an unfamiliar 5th, they made up for it with victory in the replayed League Cup final against West Ham, and a thrilling 1-0 win over the mighty Real Madrid to register their 3rd European Cup success. Alan Kennedy's winner coming just 9 minutes from time.
But Ray Kennedy doesn't argue. He takes the throw, and Alan Kennedy tries to burst through. Alan Kennedy's still there, and Alan Kennedy has scored for Liverpool. A marvellous moment for Alan Kennedy. And he runs away to the left, and the whole Liverpool team go with him. A slight hesitancy in the Real Madrid defence, and Alan Kennedy, the defender, was there when he was needed. And Augustine came to his near post, and Alan Kennedy whacked that one into the top corner of the net. It's only his 2nd European goal of the season, but the man who came to Merseyside from Newcastle, the man who now says he's part of Liverpool just as much as the Liver building, when he was needed, Alan Kennedy was there. And with now just 8 minutes to go, it could be that Alan Kennedy has made a little history, because Alan Kennedy may well have won the European Cup for Liverpool.
That game brought to an end the glittering Liverpool career of goalkeeper Ray Clemence after 665 appearances. And later that year, Liverpool and football lost one of its great servants and ambassadors when Bill Shankly died. The 1981-82 season saw new players such as Bruce Grobbelaar, Mark Lawrenson, Craig Johnson and Ronnie Whelan establish themselves alongside Dalglish, Hansen, Rush, McDermott, Kennedy, Graeme Souness, Phil Neal and local lads Phil Thompson and Sammy Lee in a team that regained the First Division title and set their fans cheering.
Champion's
There's a big placard away to our right. Champions. We've got now 35 seconds on our watch. I don't think very much time will be added on. And there'll be no need for me to tell you when the whistle goes. You'll hear the sound. Liverpool edging to their 13th championship title here on their home ground. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 3. That tells it all.
There was more cheering when they retained the League Cup, renamed the Milk Cup, thanks to these 2 goals from Ronnie Whelan in a 3-1 victory over Spurs, who they also beat to win the Charity Shield.
Ball breaks, still on the edge of the area. Dalglish inside that area. He's challenged by Villa. Ball drops to Johnson. The shot comes in, and it's there! Ronnie Whelan has scored for Liverpool with just 3.5 minutes to go. It's Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1, and the man's name is Ronnie Whelan. The throw back to Kennedy, long ball from Kennedy. Dalglish is prepared to challenge, but the ball breaks through, and Diles has a bad ball from him, and it's inside the area, and Dalglish is onside here. Dalglish is still there, and Dalglish plays it wide to Whelan, and Whelan has scored. And it could be that Ronnie Whelan, who's now running all over Wembley, has won the cup for Liverpool.
Retaining the First Division Championship is hard enough. Retaining it in style is the mark of true champions. And the 1982-83 season saw Liverpool do just that. By a margin of 11 points, they romped home, and along the way put 5 goals past the beleaguered defences of Manchester City, Notts County, Southampton, Stoke, and best of all Everton at Goodison Park. And Ian Rush scored 4.
And a handsome break away for Liverpool. He's got Rush free. He plays it forward to Rush, and Rush has scored. A lovely goal for Liverpool.
Rush on the attack, and Rush has scored! Again, and Liverpool forward with Ian Rush again. Edge of the area, Southall facing him, and he hits the post once more. On the Lee line, it's there! Hansen comes away with it for Liverpool, plays it to Lee, and Hansen's continued his run forward. Played through there to Rush in the middle. Rush still going round Southall, and Rush is going to get his 4th. Now, what about that? Liverpool are leading Everton by 5-0, and Ian Rush has scored 4 of them.
Rush with 24 goals and Dalglish with 18 led the assault that climaxed at Wembley when Liverpool completed their hat-trick of Milk Cup victories with a 2-1 win over Manchester United.
Johnston has it, and he turns and plays the ball with a little bobble to Sammy Lee. Lee square to Alan Kennedy midway inside the United half. Kennedy drills this one in, and it's there! And Alan Kennedy has done it for Liverpool. Alan Kennedy has scored the equaliser, and he raises 2 clenched fists to the sky. A swerving, drilling shot by Alan Kennedy. How many times have we seen him try those? And for the 2nd time in a league or Milk Cup final, Alan Kennedy has found the back of the net. 75 minutes of the game gone. Liverpool, a forest of red and white down that end. Liverpool 1, it's Manchester United 1. Dalglish in possession, he tries a long shot. Hits Macari, comes to Alan Kennedy. Kennedy forward to Whelan in a bit of space. Whelan looking for Kennedy again, blocked. Whelan with the shot, and Whelan has scored for Liverpool. Ronnie Whelan, the man who did it twice here at Wembley last season. After 8 minutes of the first period of extra time, a clinical finish, a super shot into the corner of the net, and Liverpool lead now by 2-1.
Dalglish ended this season as both footballer and PFA Player of the Year, while Ian Rush was, not surprisingly, voted Young Player of the Year. But for all that, it was Bob Paisley's year. At the end of the season, he announced his retirement after 44 years with Liverpool as player, trainer, assistant manager and manager, and he went on to become a director of the club. Awarded the OBE, Manager of the Year for the 6th time, and winner of a special PFA Merit Award, Paisley, who handed over the reins to Joe Fagan, another member of Liverpool's famous boot room, looked back on the highlight of his career.
Oh, that's got to be the highlight of my career, the first European Cup that we won in Rome. Everything was right, the setting, the performance, the crowd's behaviour and that, and everybody enjoyed that. And that's got to be my most pleasing memory, that I was able to contribute to the Liverpool people something of that standard, and that it was the first time it had ever been won, and that was tremendous.
Paisley's record in 9 years as manager was an outstanding 20 major trophies, 6 league championships, 3 European Cups, 3 Milk Cups, 1 UEFA Cup, 1 European Super Cup, and 6 FA Charity Shields. He also took Liverpool to Wembley a record 12 times and lost there only once, in the 1977 FA Cup final. And the FA Cup remains the only major trophy Bob Paisley never took back to Anfield. Club skipper Graeme Souness assessed Paisley's special style in this tribute.
There's more intelligent people than me have tried to assess and find out the way he operates. I don't know, he simplifies things. He's a straight talker. He doesn't say much, but when he does say it, you know, the message comes across in no uncertain terms. I think the lads have tremendous respect for him. In many ways, the lads are frightened of him. People would laugh at that, but that's true, believe me. He just likes the job done without any fuss, and I think that, and the way he simplifies things, is maybe the biggest factors in the reason why he's had so much success.
Graeme Souness on Bob Paisley. To say that Joe Fagan merely carried on where Paisley had left off would be doing Liverpool's new manager a disservice. He inherited a great team that required very little change, save for the establishing of Steve Nicol and the signing of John Walk and Michael Robinson. But they still needed the right sort of leadership, and Fagan was the man for the job.
I've been looking forward to it ever since I was asked to take the job. Yes, I have, because I think it's a new challenge for me. And as I say, it's one of the plum jobs in the game. We've run on the same lines for so long, it's unbelievable that I should change anything at all, because it would be wrong for me to do so. And I've said this before, that if you start looking too far ahead in this game, you will drive yourself up the ball. There's no doubt about that. So there's no way that I will be thinking, other than when the players are coming back for training, after that we'll take it as it comes. I've been so used to being at this club that from one position to the other, it doesn't seem to have affected me at all. I think you get an inbred situation where you're hardened to it. That's all it's about, being hardened to it.
But there was one habit that Fagan's team did carry over from the Paisley era: winning. 1983-84 saw Liverpool complete a hat-trick of league championships, equalling Huddersfield and Arsenal's pre-war records, and a fourth successive Milk Cup victory, this time over rivals Everton.
Throw into Liverpool, just inside their own half of the field. Whelan nods it back to Kennedy. Kennedy then to Hansen. He has got a bit of time. He plays it forward to Johnson, who steps over the ball. Rush tries to play a 1-2 with Johnson, and it comes off well. Dalglish picks it up now. Souness is there, and Souness plays a good ball right side to Liverpool. First time forward by Neil to Johnson. Johnson heads it back to Dalglish. Dalglish back to Neil, who's well forward with the attack. Souness has got a little bit of space. Turns, shoots, great shot! And Souness has scored for Liverpool! Ooh, a great goal by Graeme Souness. It looked as though he hadn't quite controlled it, but he suddenly turned and saw there was nobody in front of him, poked out his left boot, and it flew past Neville Southall.
In the league, Ian Rush, footballer and player of the year, stole the headlines with a devastating goal-scoring performance which brought him a total of 32 goals, as Liverpool once again terrorised defences. There were 6-0 wins over West Ham and Luton when Rush scored 5, and 5-0 wins over Notts County and Coventry when Rush scored a record-breaking 4 goals.
Lee down the right-hand side, inside to Phil Neal. Phil Neal first time into Souness. Dalglish takes over. Dalglish releases to Walk. Walk goes on. He's gone past Suckling. Can he get the ball back across the goal? And there's Rush. A wonderful goal by Liverpool. Absolutely marvellous goal by Liverpool. Walk was the man that eventually made the telling move, getting round Suckling, putting it to the far post. And there was Ian Rush to break the record of Roger Hunt and scored 42 goals in one season for Liverpool. But Rush's 43rd of the season beats that record, and it gives Liverpool the answer to all this pressure in the first half. The move started off by Sammy Lee. Liverpool looking for the way through. Now Lee goes in field, has a bit of space, throws the ball forward to Walk. Walk is able to turn, tries to get the ball across. Rush again, and there's the second. An identical move. Lee started it again infield. There was Walk, turned the ball infield again, and there was Rush, who appeared at the near post this time, and Liverpool are 2 up in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. Here at Anfield, we're just waiting for a penalty kick to be taken.
Ian Rush will take it, and should he score this goal, it will be 30 league goals in the season. That hasn't been accomplished since Bob Latchford did so in 1978. Here's Rush against Suckling, he scored! And that roar from Anfield tells it all. Liverpool are 3 up today, all 3 goals scored by Ian Rush. Nobody since Bob Latchford in 78 has scored 30 league goals in a season. And what a player to equal that feat, but Ian Rush, the Welsh wizard, 43 goals this season. What a marvellous player this man is. Ronnie Whelan steps inside, goes on across the face of the goal. There's Rush at the far post, and there's Rush's 4th goal of the afternoon. Ronnie Whelan cut inside.
In the same season, Dalglish scored this memorable 100th league goal.
Liverpool, the champions, a goal down here at Portman Road, but they've got a corner near side of the field. Lee will take it with his right foot, makes a little signal, takes it short, gives it now to Dalglish. A little body switch. Oh, what a goal! Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish, he swayed to the right. I think the goalposts went with him. He moved the ball onto his left foot. There didn't seem a cloud in the sky for Ipswich, and then he hit it with his left foot. That ball curled up, and then it seemed to dip a little bit, and it sank under the Ipswich crossbar. Kenny Dalglish, Footballer of the Year, Players' Player of the Year, the most capped player in Scottish history, the only man to score 100 goals, both in England and Scotland, 100 league goals, that is. And now, well, I wonder how highly he'd rate that goal. A superb goal, worthy of Liverpool, worthy of Kenny Dalglish. Ipswich won, Liverpool won.
But the season finished on an even higher note for both Liverpool and Joe Fagan, when Britain's most successful club in European competition won their 4th European Cup the hard way, beating AS Roma in a penalty shootout, thanks to Bruce Grobbelaar's wobbly legs and Alan Kennedy's sure foot.
It's Francesco Graziani against Bruce Grobbelaar. Graziani, over the top! Grobbelaar is doing a jig of joy. Graziani can't believe it. Over the top it went, breaking the crossbar, skidding off on its way. And just to repeat, if Liverpool score this one, then the cup is back on Merseyside. What a moment. What a moment. Alan Kennedy, with this penalty, could win the European Cup for Liverpool Football Club. Alan Kennedy comes up, and Alan Kennedy has won the European Cup for Liverpool. Kennedy runs away, the whole team crawl all over Alan Kennedy, the man who scored in the European Cup final in Paris, the man who's played over 150 consecutive games for Liverpool, the quiet man, not flashy Alan Kennedy, he just gets on with the business. When he got on with the business there, and he hit the ball into the back of the net.
And joining in the celebrations there was Crazy Horse himself, Emlyn Hughes. Club captain Graeme Souness ended his 6 years with Liverpool on the high note of that victory in Rome, when Liverpool became the first team to win 3 major competitions in one season. And Joe Fagan ended his first season in charge by being named Manager of the Year. The 1984-85 season was one of many disappointments for Liverpool. They had to settle for the runners-up spot in the First Division, suffered an FA Cup semi-final defeat, and their long run of success in the League or Milk Cup was ended in October 1984, when Spurs brought to an end a record run of 25 League and Milk Cup tie victories. Their achievement in reaching a 5th European Cup final in 1985 was overshadowed by what took place in the Heysel Stadium, when 39 fans died and over 400 were injured on a night of tragedy.
Good evening and welcome from Graham Beecroft to the Heysel Stadium in Brussels for this, the European Cup final, Liverpool against Juventus, an occasion that should be one of celebration for football, but I'm afraid it's turned nasty in the worst possible way, because the barrier has collapsed away over to my left-hand side, where the Juventus supporters have been attacked by the Liverpool supporters, and I fear we have a real tragedy here.
After the Heysel final, won for Juventus by Platini's penalty, Joe Fagan announced his retirement and handed over to Anfield's favourite son, Kenny Dalglish, who shouldered the dual responsibilities of player and manager. The Scot, signed from Celtic in 1977 and awarded the MBE in 1985, became Liverpool's 7th manager since the war. He began his first season in charge with a team that included, in addition to the established names, players Fagan had signed or introduced to the first-team squad, Jim Beglin, Gary Gillespie, Kevin MacDonald, Jan Mulby and Paul Walsh. As he built for the future, Dalglish made only 17 appearances in the 1985-86 season. But whether on the field or in the dugout, his influence was a vital part of Liverpool's First Division Championship victory, made even sweeter by the fact that Everton were forced to take second place. There were 5-0 wins over Birmingham, Coventry and Ipswich, and a 6-0 win against Oxford. But it was Dalglish's goal at Chelsea that ensured the championship was Anfield-bound.
Whelan tries to drive the ball back in again. It's played by Beglin to Dalglish. Chance for Dalglish, who has scored for Liverpool. Kenny Dalglish has scored for Liverpool. He brought the ball down on his chest in the penalty area, just on the left-hand side of the goal, and volleyed the ball into the back of the net past Godden. And the celebrations have already begun. Away to my left-hand side. Kenny Dalglish, the Liverpool player-manager, may have put Liverpool on the road to the championship.
So Dalglish's first season as player-manager was a real cause for celebration.
I must be the proudest chairman of any club in the whole of the world today, having seen Liverpool play magnificently to win the league championship for the 16th time. I feel very proud not only for the club, but particularly for the whole team, led by Kenny Dalglish in his first year as our manager. I think he's performed magnificently. He's the most modest man, and his example for young people in the game is first class.
All I like about it is because they always pick on one person, and they like to pick on me. So to the boys who have written about me all the season, cheerio, I've got another championship, number 4 in 5 seasons. What bad day.
I've been fortunate really that the lads have responded tremendously well, and I think it was harder for them at the beginning than it was for me, and without a great deal of help from them and obviously the backroom staff, I don't think it would have been as easy as what it has been. I just went into it with the same ambition as I did to most of the game, every game when I was a player, that you give 100%. If it's good enough, you'll be there. If it's no, you'll get the sack. And if you make more decisions that turn out to be correct and you do wrong, you'll be in no bad position either. We've got good players here, and we're fortunate that they want to be good and they want to be successful. And if they can do that, well, obviously it makes it a lot easier for me. But I've made mistakes throughout the season, and I'm just learning my trade, the same as they were learning to get used to me. And hopefully we'll come out it better maybe for next season.
Liverpool chairman Sir John Smith, Bruce Grobbelaar and the man himself savouring their success. But Dalglish and his Liverpool players weren't finished. They completed a memorable and historic double, the first in their history, when they beat their closest rivals Everton in the first ever All-Merseyside Cup final.
Beglin now hits another long pass. Dalglish chases. Minefield wins it though for Everton. Good pass out to the far side of the field for Stevens, who then gives the ball away to Whelan. Inside to Mulby, just outside the penalty area. Now with Rush, inside the area, great chance for Rush, and Rush has scored! Minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool get the equaliser with a lovely swift move, but what cool finishing from Ian Rush. He gathered the ball just inside the penalty area, danced around Mims, and then stroked it beautifully left-footed into the goal. His 32nd of the season. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 1. Liverpool on the attack. Mulby, the long road, Graeme Souness to score!
Whelan's just outside the Everton penalty area. Whelan will chip it wide. Rush is there, and Rush has won the cup for Liverpool. A lovely through ball again. The Irishman Ronnie Whelan was there. He turned it to the right, and Ian Rush, deadly, knocks in his 32nd goal of the season. It's Liverpool 3, it's Everton 1. Ian Rush is the hero, because surely the cup now will go to Liverpool, and the double will go to Liverpool. The man is Ian Rush.
Steve McMahon, an ex-Everton player, was Dalglish's major addition to the Liverpool squad during 1985-86. But when he was named substitute for the final and didn't make an appearance, it meant that Liverpool had won the English FA Cup without an Englishman in the side. This was also the season when Dalglish won his 100th cap for Scotland, became only the second player since the war to appear in and manage FA Cup and Championship winning sides, was voted Manager of the Year and led his team to a record-equalling 10-0 win over Fulham in what was now the Littlewoods Cup. Join us on side 2 for the second half of Liverpool's decade of triumph and tragedy.